This is Turn It Up a Notch with best-selling author, trainer, and coach Gary Michels. Gary is the co-founder of the fastest-growing sales training company, Southwestern Consulting. Supercharge your sales team. Go to turnitapanotch.com to learn more about what Gary Michels training can do for your organization. And now, here's your host, Gary Michels.
Stella & Dot, an Inc. 500 fastest-growing company, is a San Francisco-based social selling company that creates flexible entrepreneurial opportunities for women. The company's one-of-a-kind collections are designed by celebrated New York designers. The Today Show, Wall Street Journal, New York Times have praised Stella & Dot for its innovative social shopping concept. Jennifer Glava is an associate director at Stella & Dot, who's actually been with the company for 5.5 years. And she is an amazing leader that every single day is out there working with her team, coaching them, training them, mentoring them to be successful entrepreneurs in their business. This is an incredible company that focuses on jewelry, handbags, and accessories. And I'm just so excited, Jen, to have you as a guest today on Turn It Up a Notch. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to be here.
Yay. So let's dig right in because we have a lot of listeners around the country that want to hear a little bit more about how it is to lead a team and a little bit about Stella & Dot. So to have a team of superstars requires a culture that supports superstar sales behavior. And this show is all about creating sales cultures. So I wanted to dig in with you a little bit and describe your sales culture that supports the desired attitudes, thoughts, behaviors, and habits of the company.
Well, I think it starts with me. If there's an expectation with my team, they need to see it from me. So it's really something I enjoy doing. And I was never in sales before Stella & Dot. I actually was the person who would see like a salesperson and basically refer to them as pushy. So I was always just shying away from that. And when Stella & Dot came along, it was the product that I fell in love with first, truthfully. It was irresistible as it is today. It keeps getting better. It's just design-driven. It's on trend. I just loved it. And so I thought, well, you know what? Let me give this a go. And since I love it, I'm just going to share my love of the product with others. And that's really where the sales culture started and stemmed from. And so my team, I want them to love the product. I want them to, have a desire to just have it on all the time, be wearing it, be sharing it. And that's really where our sales culture starts from, is a love for the product and then wanting to share that same joy and love with others.
Right on. So I'm sure you have some pretty deep core values, but as a leader, what's the thing that you value the most in your team and in your leadership abilities?
I love tenacity. I think tenacity is what takes good leaders to great leaders. It's that extra something that if someone's facing a struggle or they're just really there's just something that's just very hard for them to get through, get their head around, or we like to call it their saboteur. Mm-hmm. If you're tenacious about it and you want it bad enough, you're going to go the extra mile for it because it's that important to you. So I really think that the leaders that I love and that I would like to emulate are tenacious. And so I really try to have that in my own personal core value and then carry that and pass it on to my team.
So what do you think is the most critical thing that you do for your team as a leader?
I am just a passionate person in general. Like I love my family. I love life. My license plate says love life. I have necklaces that say love life. I'm just passionate. Yes, I am. And I love to pass that on to my team. I feel like, sometimes women, and right now my team is 100% women. There are a few good men that sell Stella & Dot. But women in life, it's very easy for us to get down on ourselves and to not have our cup of, we like to say, full. Mm-hmm. And it sometimes just takes another person come alongside you and believe in you more than you believe in yourself. I know that I have leaders that have done that for me. And so I feel like being passionate is that quality about me and that I like to pass on to my team.
What would you say, Jen, because you have a wide variety of leaders on your team, is the biggest struggle a person new to their new home-based business or, you could take it whatever you want to take it to, but what's the biggest struggle they face and how do you as a leader help them overcome that?
Well, the number one thing is that women are afraid to be pushy. Like they always think that they're pushy or they think that, there's not just women, like I said, we have a few good men that do this with us, but this is an accessory company.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't ever want to come across as they're stalking someone or a pushy salesperson. And so that is why at the very beginning, especially when I have someone that starts with Stella and Up, I really take the time to try to get to know them and find out why they're doing the business. Whether it is that they're doing it to, earn some extra money for shoes they don't have to ask their husband about, or they're doing it to pay or replace his full-time income. But I find out why they're doing this business. And then what happens is as they start the business, they're realizing that they're not stalking anyone. Like, they're not going after anyone. They're not bugging anyone. They are there to provide a gift, the same gift that's been given to them, that they can give to other people. And the way that I look at it is, I think we all have one precious life in this world, and mine is to provide joy. And whether that is to give a woman a necklace that's going to make her feel a little bit prettier than she originally did, or have a hostess get some girlfriends together that she hasn't seen in a while, and they go shopping with a glass of wine and not have to fight the crowd, or it's that they become a new stylist. I think that's a new stylist has to get their mind around what it is that they want, the fact that they're not going to let their saboteurs stand in the way, and then be coachable enough to let me show them that these things are possible, that they can have all those things.
It's so true. If the why isn't strong enough, then they'll tend to mentally quit. But if the why is strong enough, you can work through everything. It's such a important thing. Is that something from
Absolutely.
Is that something from the very first time you have an opportunity to meet a new stylist? Is that your first thing that you're doing? Because we have other leaders on this call, on this show today, that are saying, "What's the first thing I should do when I have a new person on my team?" Would you say that's it? Is really dig into what makes them tick and their why, or is there something even more important than that?
That's number one. Truthfully, for me, it is number one. And plus, I want to know them. Like, this is somebody that they're going to share details about their life with me. Like, this isn't, when I meet somebody and they're coming on this journey with me, I anticipate they're going to be with me for a long time. So this isn't, I want to get to know what it is that drives them, what they're so passionate about, that when those times come where they're going to hit a wall, because we all hit them, they're going to hit it too, I can refer back to, but remember, the reason you're doing this is because you want to send your son to college, and I know how important that is for you. Or remember, you wanted those Valentino shoes so badly, just take a picture of them and put them on your desk, and that's what you're going for. But truthfully, and it's not even about the Valentino shoes for women, if that's what they're going for. It's more about the fact that they did it, and they didn't let their fear get in the way.
That is huge. We always talk about the sexy buffalo. I don't know if you ever heard the concept before, but fear is unattractive and confidence is sexy. And the only difference, Jennifer, between fear and confidence is one word, and that's preparation. And
Yes.
if we can equip people with the right tools, the right training, the right attitudes, the right everything that they need, then they can be a bunch of sexy women out there being confident, just rocking this thing. And I know that you instill that in your team, and that's just such an important thing. But you made a point to me that really struck a chord with me, and that is get to know your people. Sometimes we get so crazy busy as leaders in companies that we're so focused on the initiative of the company that we forget that the real core of it is our people. Is that the way you've always been, or is that something you've learned in this business?
I feel fortunate. Before I worked at Stella and I've worked for a couple amazing organizations that are very people-based, and, they talked about it, and it was definitely part of the culture, but I've never, ever been a part of something that this is the mission of this company, and it really is that it is all about the people. Like, yes, we love our accessories, absolutely, but we are much more than that, and I love the best part of my business is getting to know somebody, getting to know their goals, helping them work through them, and then when they reach them, the celebration is huge. And the culture of just sisterhood, of truthfully Stella and Dot overarching, is the most incredible thing I've ever seen. It is a group of women, a large group of women that are supportive of each other, that are cheering each other on, and that's what we live for, is really being able to celebrate all victories. They don't have to just be the big ones. They're the ones that maybe it's a new stylist just picking up the phone for the first time and really scared to call somebody. You celebrate that because that was huge for them. The people, for me, is the driving force and why I do and love this business like I do.
Yay. So let's be real here. There are difficult parts about being a team leader. There are difficult parts about leading a team, okay? So what do you struggle with? We're all human. And how do you overcome your fears and your challenges?
Well, one of the hardest things I think I struggle with is when I see potential in someone, and I see like they just all of the good things they're doing and that they're moving towards their goal. And then when they hit that wall, and I'm like, oh, you're so close, but they just don't want to push through it. And in that moment, I have to just sit back for a little bit and be like, you know what? I'm going to be there no matter what, and I'm going to motivate them. But I really have to check myself and make sure, was this my goal for them or was this their goal? And so that's kind of where I tend to focus on. Is really trying to recognize, was this something they wanted or was this something I wanted for them? And that's probably the part that I see these women that are just so incredible that can do these things, but I have to really come back to why are they doing their business and the overarching theme of if they're happy, that's my version of success for them, if they are happy.
Sure. And I'm sure as I've gotten to know you a little bit that expression goes, if you help enough other people get what they want, you'll get what you want. And I know you have that in you, and that just drives you every day is to see people happy, like you say.
It is.
Do you recognize your team? I'm sure you do, but is there a formal way that you recognize them besides what Stella does? And then what are the main ways that people are recognized on a daily, weekly, monthly basis in this business?
Well, the beautiful part about Stella is that it was created and founded by these two women that really understand what make women tick, and we like to be recognized. That is no joke. We do.
Of
and
course.
So and if no one knows that on the line right now, let me help you out. That women love sparkly things and they love to be recognized. And so Stella and Dot, as a home office, does an incredible job with not only providing online tools where literally you can go into a report and see company-wide who is top 10 in sales. And you can look and see, oh my goodness, and their name and life. Or who is top 10 in trunk shows. Or you can look that way. There's also, we are a definite Facebook nation, and there are lots of ways to give kudos on Facebook. And, sometimes people are like, oh, Facebook. But truthfully, when you have a large group on Facebook and you have a large following on Facebook within these different teams, and you take the time to recognize somebody, again, big things, small things, that is something that I consistently really try to do and have a culture of. Then again, it's also I do flash incentives. So if we as a team are really pushing for a goal and we're super close, I'll do something like, hey, let's give away $50 gift cards today to the place of your choosing. So you can go shopping based on this. Let's go. And it just really is tailored to the month we're in, to the goal we're going after. But at the end of the day, there is consistent kudos and recognition for big things and small things. And at the end of the month, we always, we recap the month, top 5 in each place and space. And we really try to make sure that we include everyone, new stylists and seasoned stylists, and genuine recognition. I am a huge believer in genuine recognition. What I mean by that is when you recognize someone, be specific about what they did, not just say, hey, great job, and go for it, and you did it. It's more of, you know what, so happy for you that you didn't let your fear get in the way, and you made those 10 phone calls, and look at you now, you have your first trunk show. So happy for you. It's genuine recognition.
It touches my heart to hear you say that, because there's so many people in our world that they may never get recognized from their significant other. They were maybe never recognized from their parents or from a prior job that they did, or their children don't have the knowledge or skill sets to say, Mom, I appreciate you. And yes. What an opportunity it is as a leader in a sales organization that's driving sales, driving success, driving people's hearts to be successful and entrepreneurs, to be able to recognize them. It's just such a gift that we have as human beings. So kudos to you.
I agree.
Kudos.
I agree.
So, Jennifer, let's take a quick break, and coming up, find out what the best leadership skill to have is to support a higher performing sales team. We're listening to my guest today, Jennifer Glava, Associate Director of Stella & Dot. I'm Gary Michels. You're listening to Turn It Up a Notch, and we'll be right back after this short break.
This is Turn It Up a Notch with best-selling author, trainer, and coach Gary Michels. This is Turn It Up a Notch with best-selling author, trainer, and coach Gary Michels. Gary is the co-founder of the fastest-growing sales training company, Southwestern Consulting. Supercharge your sales team. Go to turnitapanotch.com to learn more about what Gary Michels training can do for your organization.
You're listening to Turn It Up a Notch. I'm your host, Gary Michels, co-founder of Southwestern Consulting, one of the most successful sales and marketing training companies in the world. And the topic of our show today is finding leaders in unexpected places. And on the phone with us is our guest, Jennifer Glava, Associate Director at Stella & Dot. And let's dig right back in, because I know you as an Associate Director are always looking for leaders, creating them,
Yes.
looking for them. And I think it's so appropriate in unexpected places, because isn't it true that you could have somebody that shows up last minute at a trunk show, or somebody you bump into at a Starbucks, and you don't even know it. Next thing you have a leader on your hand. Is that true or not?
Oh, it is, and it has happened, and it's magical, and it makes me spin my head around when it happens, because I'm like, it's a reminder that it absolutely can happen at any time, especially in this business.
So let's talk about leadership for a moment. If you had to identify one leadership trait that helps you to support your team and sets your team up to be great competitors, to be great salespeople in a servants-minded attitude, of course, what would you say that biggest leadership trait is?
That's a tough one, but I would have to say time blocking or time sensitivity or allocation of time. And the reason I say that is because we all know the number one thing that people respond with, whether you're offering them an opportunity or you just want to go to dinner, I'm so busy. And I always laugh because we all have 24 hours in a day. And I really think it's more about choosing time. It's choosing what you're doing. You get a choice every day. We all have 24 hours to be able to do what we want to do. And so in this season, and also as a leader, one of the things that I do is I am a big time blocker. So I go through at the beginning of every week. I'm very big about my weekly, but at the beginning of every month, I am over my month, and then I also do a quarterly time block. And in there, first and foremost, is family. Number one for me is family. It's one reason I do this business. I get to be with my kiddos and be a good wife to my husband. At least I think so. Hubby, you better agree. And that is a big thing for me. So I time block family first. And then I go in there, and then I time block personal things for me. Like, I'm a huge believer in exercise, that it drives. It gives me the energy I need to maintain. It also just gives me clarity to be able to think clearly and make sure my decisions are balanced and not because I'm so tired I can't see straight, and that I haven't exercised. So exercise is a part for me. And then that third part is looking at my business and breaking that down, and not just saying, okay, here's my Stella & Dot time, but what are the most important things I need to do in that Stella & Dot time? And so the time blocking piece is just something that there are many more activities that I am choosing, I am trying to teach my leaders and up-and-coming leaders on how to identify the time, where it's best spent, and things that maybe are time blockers or time wasters, and things that, you know what, it's a good time to be able to learn to say no, and no is okay, no is not bad. You're choosing to do something else with your time. So that's what I would say, really focusing on that.
It's interesting you say that, because honestly, I'd say about 80% of the clients that I'm typically working with in our company is we're talking about time blocking and time management. Now, there's an interesting statistic, Jennifer, and those of you out there that are listening to our show today, that we all have the same 168 hours in a work week, or in it could be a work week, sleep week, whatever. But we're all given the same 168 hours, and if we sleep 56 hours, we get a full 8 hours sleep in. And even if you have another full-time job of 50 hours, that still leaves you 62 hours in a week, 62 hours to choose how you want to spend it. And if you were to work out 10 hours a week, and you have family time with meals and date nights and different things like that, 20 hours a week, you still have 30 hours a week left. And what people don't realize in business sometimes is that they have all the time in the world if they just take the time to really look at their week. So time blocking, I'm really glad you brought that up because it is a big topic right now in business. It's huge.
I think it's imperative, truthfully. I think it's imperative to someone, even if in my business I have stylists that may only work the business 5 hours a week, and they absolutely can do that. That's awesome for them. However, it makes them happy. But sometimes it's even just helping them to find 5 hours a week and where that looks like. And we'll break it, and I'll break it down with them. Like literally, we will talk about what their day looks like, what their kids' schedules look like, and I will help them find that time based on what their goals are. If they tell me that they want to earn an extra $1,000 a month, I will show them how we can get the time there. So I think it's imperative.
So what's the biggest key to being successful at Stella and Dot?
Oh, goodness. I honestly think it comes down to a mentality and fortitude of knowing that you can do it. You know, I've talked a little bit about it in the interview, but really that positivity and the passion. The tools are provided for us. Our home office is incredible. The product is coveted. The editors love it. The celebrities love it. So really the if factor is us, and it's believing that we can do it. It's taking the tools and stop thinking and more doing. Like we think way too much. Like as just humankind, we think way too much. If we really knew what we wanted to do and we had all the tools and we just sat down and did it, that is the key at Stella and Dot. And truthfully, I feel like it's the key in life for me. I know it's important. I have the tools, and now let's live this best life the best way I know how.
I like that you say that because we deal with all different sales businesses on this show and all the time in our company. And it's so often it comes down to activity breeds results, and what you focus on and where you spend your time and the contacts that you make is the success of your business. And I so agree with you that don't be thinking so much. Just go out there and do it. Really quickly, could you give a little 30-second commercial on Stella and Dot, a little bit about their products, what you guys sell, and how can somebody reach out to you, Jen, if they're interested in becoming a stylist, interested in having a fun trunk show where women can get free jewelry and be styled out and have a great time and laugh and have fun? How can they reach you? So quickly, a little bit about the company and then how they can get in touch with you.
Sure. So Stella and Dot was created and founded for strong women, and it's founded by two of the most amazing entrepreneurs that I've ever had the pleasure of working for, Jessica Heron and Blythe Harris. And it was actually the name of the company, Stella and Dot, was their grandmother's name. So in the 40s, you know, these women were some of the strongest women we know. You know, their husbands were going off to war. They were taking care of business. They were starting to get jobs. They were such a strong generation. So that's what the company is founded on and named for. We're a boutique style of accessories brand that's sold exclusively through stylists, but we sell through in-home trunk shows or in-office trunk shows, which are the most fun. I cannot imagine going to the mall right now. I'm sorry, retailers, but it's a little busy for me. And this gives women an opportunity to be able to get together, have fun, try on accessories, do their shopping in the comfort of their girlfriend's living room. And then in return, we love giving hostesses free jewelry. So that's what they get. And then we also sell person to person. So if someone sees my necklace or bag and they love it, we can sell it that way. And then we also have online capabilities where someone can literally just go online and do their Christmas shopping today. And our technology is actually amazing. The platform is incredible. So, you know, that's a little bit about Stella and Dot. Now, to find out more about Stella and Dot, about being a stylist, which, as I mentioned earlier, being a stylist with Stella and Dot is something that some people can do very part-time, 5 hours a week, all the way up to full-time, which is how I run my business. And you can find out more information about that, along with being a hostess, or if you see a necklace and you're dying to have it, you can just literally go to www.stella, STELLA, .dot, spelled out, .com /Jennifer Glava. And that's spelled JENNIFER, Glava, GLAV as in Victor A. And there's a ton of information there, and also a way that you can reach out to me personally. I'd be happy to answer anyone's questions.
Fantastic. Well, That is an amazing bit of information there. I probably could have spent the whole hour speaking with you, Jennifer, but that's our show for today. Thank you for tuning in and spending time to sharpen the tools in your toolbox. We talked a lot today about how to develop the leadership skills within you. I'm your host, Gary Michels, and until next time, remember to turn it up a notch.
This is Turn It Up a Notch with best-selling author, trainer, and coach Gary Michels.